Good morning everyone. Today we're going to discuss the text entitled The Open Market in the Digital Economy. The text explains how money, labor, capital, profit competition, and monopoly work in modern market. It also shows that market today are no longer limited to physical place because money transactions now happen through digital platform, mobile application, and online marketplace. I hope each of us can share opinion, example, and questions so that we can understand both the economic concept and the English expression used in the text.
Yes, I think this topic is very relevant today. Almost every student has experience with digital markets, such as buying product online, using delivery apps, or paying with a wallet. So the tech is not only theoretical but also close to our daily life.
I agree. From my experience, digital market have changed how people work and earn income. For example, many people are no longer traditional employees. Some become online sellers, freelance designer, content creators, or ride-hailing drivers. Their income is not always fixed and it makes of the concept of labor more complicated.
Okay, that is an interesting point. I think in text help us understand that labor in economic is usually measured by payment. But in modern life, many productive activities are not easy to classify. For example, someone who creates educational content online may spend many hours working, but their income depends on views, followers, and advertisement or platform algorithm.
So, from the beginning, we can see that the text connects classical economic concept with modern digital realities. Money is still used as a standard to measure economic value, but the forms of worth, income, and market interaction have become more diverse.
Good morning, Najmi. Irani, what do you think about the idea that unpaid work may have social value but is not always counted as labor in the economic sense?
I think it's a little unfair because unpaid work can be very important. For example, caring for children or helping family members takes time and effort, even not paid. It still support the economy indirectly.
That is a good point, Danny. Main discussion, labor, profit, and capital.
Let us move the next issue, the difference between waste and profit in the text regular impartial wage, where entrepreneur or independent works may receive service after. Find the cost. The discussion is important because it shows that not all income has the same economic character. A wage is usually more predictable, while profit depends on risk, cost, market demand, and business performance.
I think that distinction is very clear in the gig economy. A delivery driver or online seller may look independent, but their income can change every day. They may earn more when demand is high, but they also face costs such as fuel, internet, platform fees, and equipment maintenance.
Yes, and I have seen small business face this situation. A person might sell goods through an online platform, but after paying for ingredients, packaging, delivery charge, and platform commission, the remaining income might not be very large. Many people see sales revenue, but they forget to calculate net profit.
Oh, that's why I think digital literacy and financial literacy are very important. In the digital economy, people must understand not only how to sell product online, but also how to calculate cost, risk, margins, and long-term sustainability. Without a knowledge, a business may look successful but actually produce a little profit.
From this point, I can synthesize that profit is not simply money received. Profit is surplus after costs are paid. In modern markets, those costs may include traditional expenses such as wage and rent and digital expenses. Each as online advertising, software subscription, platforms, and data service.
Excellent. Knowledge as discussed capital, the text explains that capital is accumulated through past usage to finish future production. In the past, capital was often understood as land, machines, building, and equipment. But today, capital may also include software, data, digital, infrastructure, brand, reputation, and intellectual property. This means that the concept of capital has expanded.
So, capital is not only physical things. It can also be something intangible, like application, a database, or a strong brand.
Exactly, that is very important observation when discuss digital market and competition.
I would like to talk about the meaning of market. The text says that markets are no longer only physical places. I think this is easy to understand because we can now buy and sell without meeting face to face. For example, we can order food, buy books, pay bills, and even attend online courses through digital platforms.
In the past, buyers and sellers usually met directly. They could see the product, negotiation, the price, and build personal trust. Now, trust is often created through ratings, review, payment system, return policies, and platform reputation. This is a big change in the market behavior.
Yes, and digital platforms are create new type of competition. Seller must compete only in price, but also in visibility, delivery speed, product photos, customer service, and online review. Sometimes a seller with a better digital strategy can outperform another seller even if the product is similar.
So competition in the digital economy is multidimensional. It involves price, quality, speed, information, technology, and user experience. This makes the market more dynamic but also more complex.
Good. The tech also mentioned that in retail market, information should be easy, transparent, and expensive. However, real markets are never perfect. Information may be incorrect, algorithms may influence visibility, and customer may feel performance more even when clever alternatives are available. This is a way the idea of a perfect market is useful as a theory, but real market need more careful analysis.
Might I add something?
Of course, Danny, let's continue.
I think customer review are very important in digital market. Sometimes I choose a product not because it's the cheapest, but because many people give positive review, so information affect my decision.
That is true, reviews can influence demand.
But reviews can also be manipulated, so the quality of information matter and decision is monopoly and regulation.
Now we enter the issue of monopoly. In the text, monopoly is explained as a situation where one seller or a small group of sellers has strong control over the market. In the digital economy, monopoly power may come from data, platform, algorithms, patents, network, and user communities. This is different from traditional monopoly, which often came from control over natural resources or factories.
I think digital monopoly is very interesting because it can grow very quickly. When many users join one platform, the platform becomes more useful, then more people join, and competitors find it difficult to enter. This is called network effect.
From real experience, people often continue using one platform because everyone else already uses it. For example, sellers use a marketplace because buyers are there, and buyers it because many sellers are there. This makes the platform stronger and stronger.
That creates a serious policy challenge. On the one hand, large platforms may profit efficiency, convenience, and information. On the other hand, they had a charge high fees, control visibility, collect a large amounts of data, and reduce competition. So government must be careful in regulating them.
I can connect this with the earlier discussion. Competition is important because it projects consumers and encourage innovation. However, when a company becomes too dominant, the market might become less fair. Therefore, regulation is needed not to stop business success but to prevent abuse of market power.
I think regulation is important, but it should not be too strict. If regulation is too strict, companies may be afraid to innovate.
That is Bell's opinion that regulations should protect the public interest while still allowing innovation to grow, closing discussion.
Before we close, I want to say that this text help us learn economy vocabulary in a meaningful context. Words such as labor, surplus, capital, profit, market, competition, and monopoly are easier to understand when they are connected with digital platforms and modern business.
I agree. The modern context makes the text more realistic. Students can relate the concepts to online shopping, digital payments, delivery service, startup, and freelance work. This makes the discussion more useful than only talking about traditional market.
For me, its more important idea is digital economy does not remove all the economic concepts. Instead, it change the way those concepts appear in real life. Labor, capital, profit, and monopoly still exist, but their forms are more complex.
To synthesize our discussion, we can say that the open market in the digital economy is more flexible, faster, and wider than traditional markets. However, it also creates new problems such as unequal information, platform dependence, data control, and digital monopoly. Therefore, both economic understanding and proper regulation are needed.
I learned that markets are not just places. A market can also be system where buyer and seller interact, even through application or websites. I also understand that digital market can give opportunities, but they also create risks.
Thank you everyone. Our discussion showed that the text is not only about English reading, comprehension, but also about understanding modern economics life. We have discussed how money measures economic value, how labor can be paid or unpaid, how profit differs from wage, how capital provides future production, how digital market operate, and how monopoly power may appear in platform-based economy. We also learned that modern markets are not perfectly fair because information algorithms, data, and network effect can influence competition. Therefore, as students, we need to understand both the language of economy and the real condition behind the concept. I think this discussion has helped us connect vocabulary, grammar, economic theory, and contemporary explains in a meaningful way.
Yes, that was a productive discussion.
I agree. The example made the concept clear.
And the topic is very relevant in current economic change.
The discussion also gives us a complete picture from concept to application.
I feel more confident now. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. That concludes our discussion.
Bye.